more information. Again, the mayor expected to provide an update soon. He did tell us the mall is not secure. That information coming as there is a large police presence outside of that mall, where, and we were told from an eyewitness, again, that is the latest information we just got, is that there was an argument appeared that happened inside of the mall, some fighting, and then shots fired.
Yeah, let's bring in Ryan again. Ryan, this is Dad and Stephen. Can you hear us okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Since so many people, Stephen, have just joined us,
right,
we might get Ryan to kind of go through.
Right. Ryan, first off, it was around 9:50 this evening. I know you were in the mall. Tell us again exactly what happened.
So basically, me and three other friends were by the Sears, which is by the bumper nets. It's on the far end of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
And we were sitting there, and they were sitting at a table eating, and I was in a chair, and I could see all the way down the corridor there. I heard like some loud noises. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. And then we just felt a rumbling. And we looked down, and the entire mall was in a full sprint. People were screaming. We were confused. Like we just kind of didn't really know how to process it. We just kind of sat there for a minute. And then when everyone started yelling run, we just joined them. And we ran out of the Sears. Everything seemed to have kind of calmed down. And then that's when just a second, surge of people running out of the mall who were,
mm-hmm.
That's when it really scared us because, we were close by where these exits where people were screaming, sounding like they had just seen someone get shot. So we just went on a full-on sprint, got to our car, and we finally just got onto the interstate after about an hour of sitting in the parking deck.
And if you could, Ryan, where are you now? Are you still at the mall? I know you said you had gotten yourself to a parking garage where you were able to get to that vantage point to call us the first time.
Yeah, we have gotten out of the parking deck. We're on 459 now. An ambulance actually just passed us. I'm assuming
James
going to Grandview. So,
if I could, I apologize for interviewing you or interrupting you, Ryan, and stay with us. But I just wanted to give everyone an update that we just got from the city of Hoover, who just said a moment ago that the incident at the Galleria has been brought under control by Hoover police. They are asking everyone to avoid the mall at this time. That's some new information. Again, the situation under control. What we don't know at this hour is whether or not, again, this all started because of a report of a shooting. That's still not confirmed by the city in that latest information that they gave us. We have seen at least one person loaded onto an ambulance and taken from the scene. And what we don't know is whether or not that was related to those reports of a shooting or the pandemonium, Ryan, that you described to us that you saw, witnessed, and were frankly a part of trying to get out of that mall.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to add in terms of the ambulance, we had a couple friends of ours tell us they had personally seen 3 people be loaded into an ambulance. Obviously we weren't there to personally see it, but that's what we had heard from friends in the mall. And I had another friend who was by the Finish Line store. He was right above it. He said that's around where it happened.
Yeah, Ryan,
So,
and I can tell you it appears to be somewhere near around that Belk department store. The witness that we had talked to said outside the Outfitter store is where that person saw what they described as the shooting that happened. There is a Mountain Outfitter store that is located on the back end of the Belk, judging by the map that I'm looking at. And what we have seen as you see these images here, this is looking at that area. This is actually the parking lot next to it. But the one to the left, I don't know if we could go back.
Go to the left?
Go to the left, okay. James. This is an area, again, that Mountain Outfitter store, and I'm guess that is based off the witness description, is over in this area. That is the front of the Belk store, and you see there law enforcement out there, less than what we saw when this all started about an hour ago, but that is where they appeared to be gathered. And from our vantage point, that appeared to be where Jennifer Gonsolin was and where we saw those law enforcement personnel that were outside of that area. Ryan, I want to know also, what has it been like in that parking lot? Did you ever get a chance again to hear from police? I know I asked you that question the last time we were with you. Did you see any police, and if so, what were they doing?
We saw, actually, right before we got out, we saw a massive group, about 7 squad cars go out to the intersection where, you go across the Patton Creek. And what we think might have happened is there might have been either an accident or they were just trying to direct traffic somewhere out in that area. We thought at first they were leaving, which we were kind of confused about. But other than that, we didn't really see any police. They seemed to be all inside. But as I said, it looked like they were either directing traffic or helping with an incident that happened at that intersection.
How busy was it, Ryan, inside the mall before all this happened? I know you said you had gone out there with some friends. What was it like in there? I suspect you've been in that mall before.
I usually go there Black Friday for a little bit, and it was very busy as usual. We were on the Sears end of the mall, which there's not as much over there, so we were kind of going. Luckily, thank God, we were going down there to kind of sit down and eat, and it was not nearly as crowded over there. There's not a lot of people, but it was really busy, obviously, around the food court area, and that seems to be the general area of where it happened, which is obviously the thundering of people that we heard.
Ryan, did you see anybody injured? You say people were screaming and they were running. Did you see anybody hurt on the way out?
I didn't, but as I said, we left out of the Sears exit, and we parked actually very close to where, like, we came into the mall from that area of where the shooting supposedly happened, and we went outside, went the long way around, obviously, but I mean, there were people running in the road because, we just had to. It was pure pandemonium, and the Von Maur, the parking lot, the parking deck to the right of the Von Maur, when we were passing by there, everything seemed to have kind of calmed down. And then a group of girls had come out of there, and they looked back, and then they started screaming in just pure agony. And then they started sprinting full speed, and that's when things kind of got kicked up. And that seemed to be the general area of where that happened. So that's when things got really serious for us running to our car. But we didn't actually see anything.
And if we could, as we are here, and we thank you, Ryan, for your